here I am doing yet another video that I wasn't tagged to do because I think they're interesting. Yeah, this is one I found. It's called the Courtship tag on the Oh It's Mandy channel, and she commented on my first video, and she was like, "Hey, welcome to the booktube," and I'm like, I'm gonna check out your videos, and they're awesome, so links below to her channel and whatnot. But this is a really amazing tag, and I think it's really interesting. It's like the phases of courtship, but in like book form. So, I've been kind of like seeing all these new videos, and I'll see someone on like the recommended for you bar, and I'll be like, oh, booktube. Because I'm trying to like find new books to read all the time, because I'm trying to read 100 books this year. And it's going okay. Not great, but okay. I think I've got about 30. And I'm trying to do at least, I have to do more than 10 a month. Or 10 a month. Math skills. Oh, I have to do 10 a month, because I completely slacked off in February, or in January, and only read like 4. So I have to like pick it up. But, yeah, I thought this tag was really interesting, and that's why you're seeing me do all these tags from completely, like, random people, because I've been like, hey, what do you like? What kind of books do you like? And I find these amazing videos that I want to do. So, this is going to be, like, the first of many, and I feel like it's a good way to, like, get my channel started, like, showing you, I don't know, books. So, Courtship, Phase 1, Initial Attraction, the book you bought because of the cover. Yeah. Take it in. This is called The Silent Land by Graham Joyce. And the really cool thing about this book that I haven't seen on any other books yet, and I mentioned in my last video that I hate dust covers, I keep this one on because half of the title and like the author is actually printed on the dust cover. And it's just really cool and mysterious. And, I mean, it had an interesting description as well, otherwise I probably wouldn't have gotten it just solely based on the cover, but like 85% of the reason I bought it was because of the cover. And there's like, because this crow, because it's like faded, and I don't know, it's really cool. And it's a pretty good book. It's not like the best book I've ever read, but it's pretty good. If you see it, I would definitely recommend picking it up and giving it a read if you like mystery, suspense, surreal. It's like a surreal suspense. Okay, so Phase 2 is First Impressions, a book you got because of the summary, and that would have been Gail Carson Levine's Ever. And Gail Carson Levine is like a kids teen author, I think. Okay, she's more for like preteens, I guess. And I think she's most famous for, I want to put it here, but then it's weird shadows. Okay. She's probably most famous for her book that got turned into a movie, Ella Enchanted, that had Anne Hathaway in it. And so I liked that book and was like, hey, what else is out there from her? And this was the one that I thought sounded really interesting, and it's about the god of winds who falls in love with a mortal, and they have to go through all these tasks so that they can be together, and it's cute. And I still reread it, even though now I'm 16, and it's for ages 10 and up, and I'm up from 10, so technically. Phase 3, Sweet Talk, a book with great writing, and I don't think there will ever be a tag video, or like a best books video, or like pretty much any video at all where I don't talk about Cassandra Clare. It would be a crime if I did not talk about a book with beautiful writing and did not mention Cassandra Clare. Because Cassandra Clare takes storytelling and turns it into poetry. And it's fantastic. So, this one, I've read, like, all of the books that she's come out with, and I think her new series is coming out, like, this year or next year, the one with, James and, I think his name is James. They're kids. Will and Tessa. Oh, spoiler alert, they have children. So I show this book, I show Clockwork Princess, because it's the only one I own. So, yeah, I want to get them all, but like I mentioned in my other video, books are really expensive, and yeah, I can only really afford to get the ones I really love. And the ones that I get for reasons like pretty covers is because discount. I love me a good discount bookstore. Okay, phase 4. First date, the first book of a series, which means you want to pursue the rest of the series. I thought about this, and then the answer seemed really obvious to me, and that's The Hunger Games. By Suzanne Collins. And I devoured this book. My mom actually was hipster about it and read the book before the movie, like, became super hyped, and she didn't think I would like it, because this is not normally the kind of book, like, that I would like. But the writing is fantastic, and I remember it was being turned into a movie, and I'm like, this actually seems really interesting, and I think I want to read it. And so I read it, and I devoured it, and I'm like, I need Catching Fire this instant. Like, this book, I just needed them all. But I mean, like, pretty much with every series, like, the first book kind of gets me hooked. I don't think there's ever been a series I didn't eventually finish. Even series that I didn't love, like the Chemical Garden trilogy, I read them all, even though I didn't love them. But I read them. The only time I haven't ever finished a series was the Divergent series. I read Divergent, and then didn't care enough, so, and then my friend at school told me the ending of Allegiant, so, why? But yeah, that's that one. Phase 5, Late Night Phone Calls. A book that kept you up all night long. Pretty much anything by Rick Riordan, because he came out with this new series, the Heroes of Olympus series. But this one, The Blood of Olympus specifically, I actually literally timed myself reading this. And I live in a very rural area, and we don't actually have, like, bookstores near me. So, like, the nearest Barnes & Noble and, like, Books A Million are 2 hours away from me. So, I have to get all my books when I want them that day. I can't just go out to a bookstore. Like, Walmart has books, and they've got new books, but they don't normally get them, like, the day of. Sometimes they do, and sometimes they don't. And so my mom and I, when we really want a book, we order them from Amazon that day, and so I didn't get this until later in the afternoon, and then I spent 4 hours reading this book. 4 hours. So, I guess I technically wasn't up all night. That one would have been The Son of Neptune, which I didn't get until very late, because that one I think my mom and I went to 2 different Walmarts looking for that one, and then when I finally got it, like, I had things to do that my mom made me do first, like homework and silly stuff like that, so I didn't start it until late that night, and then I was up all night. But, like, all of these series, I was up. I'm rambling. I'm gonna stop. Phase 6, a book that you could not stop thinking about, and that would have been Slaughterhouse-Five by Kurt Vonnegut Jr. I thought about this book long and hard after I finished reading it, and then I watched not the Mental Floss video, that other series with John Green, one, I can't remember what it's called now. That's terrible, but you know what I'm talking about. And then, like, his analytical discussion about this book got me thinking about it even more, and it's just really, really thought-provoking and deep. And if you haven't read this book, Give it a read because it's really, really good. Also, anything by Jodi Picoult, but I mentioned the storyteller in my other video, and I was trying to branch out a little bit, but, like, A Change of Heart by Jodi Picoult, and, Plain Truth. Plain Truth is really good, and, oh, no, my favorite thought-provoking book, my other favorite book, so if I had to pick two for this one, I would pick Slaughterhouse-Five, and, oh my goodness, I can't remember the name of it. It's about the girl who, I can't say, because that'll give it away. So I will put the book title in the description. I can't remember it now, but Jodi Picoult always makes me think, about things. But this one made me think about, like, life and death and the meaning of life and the value of life. So, so 7, getting physical, a book in which you love the way it feels. I don't really know. I don't really have one for this. But, like, I've noticed that all of my older books, like this one and my copy of Frankenstein, which is right here. Why are these older books always so small? And I love reading them because they are so small, and they just fit into, I have, like, really tiny baby hands. Like, I can't even explain to you. Like, here's a mini Chips Ahoy container. Like, have you seen these? Okay, so a mini Chips Ahoy container is about as big as my palm. Okay? My 10-year-old brother's hands are, like, just a little bit bigger than my hands are. So to have a book like this that fits just so perfectly, I guess it feels really good. So, like, any tiny small books I like the feel of. Also, soft cover books with, like, really good spines, so that I can bend them back. I know, that's so bad. I do. I bend them back like this when I'm reading. Anyway, please don't kill me. I know I shouldn't do it, but I do it anyway. Phase 8, Meeting the Parents, a book in which you would recommend to your friends and family. And this one, so easy, came to me immediately. I read Brandon Sanderson's, oh no, I should have written it down. Why is this happening to me? Why? It's called, the one about the epics, Julia. Why? I can't remember. All I'm thinking is Torchwood, and that's not it. That's Doctor Who. It's not even that late. I don't even have an excuse. It's only 7:30. I shouldn't be this brain dead. But I read it because Peruse Project recommended it. She was like, this book, and then the next one, the one that I'm thinking, it's like, Firefight is the second one. Well, what is the first one? I don't remember. Whatever that first one was, and I read that one, and I read this on February break, and my family went away for the weekend, and we were staying in the hotel, and I'm, like, up late reading, and then as soon as I finish it, I get up, I just, like, walk silently over to my mom, and I handed her the book, and she's like, what? And I'm like, read this. And now we're both obsessed with this trilogy. So, yeah, that one was super easy because I did. I recommended it to my mother, like, on the spot. And then she, like, stole, as soon as Firefight came from the library, she, like, tried to take it from me. And she's like, no, you're reading another book. Because I'd also gotten, I'd gotten the prequel to the Lunar Chronicles. I got that one, and I have been waiting for that one for, like, a month. Because the waiting list was really, really long. And so I grabbed that one first, and so my mom stole Firefight from me. So, we might have to order 2 copies next time of this last book. Because I think that one's coming out, is that one coming out not till next year? I feel like it's coming out late this year though, so I'm really excited for that. But yeah, that one by Brandon Sanderson. Phase 9, Thinking About the Future. A book or series that you know you'll reread many times in the future. And I know what that is because I already have, and that is definitely the Percy Jackson and the Olympian series. And I purposefully chose my favorite book, and that's The Sea of Monsters. And I will just say, if you've seen this in movie form, just please don't, like, you know how they say never judge a book by its movie? But really, don't do it. I almost left the theater. I was so angry because this is my favorite book. And I chose this one just to show you. Because my cover fell off. And I read it in the bathtub. And so I know, I'm thinking about getting, because I saw the other day on someone's channel, they had like a really cool box set with the spine art, like lines up. And looks really cool, and I love it when book series do that, where like the spine art is really cool. Because my copies are like they're so beat up. But I have read this book a dozen times or more. I've read it a lot. I think at one point I was actually like counting how many times I've read this, or thought about doing it, like putting a tally mark in the cover. But I've read this one more than all of the other ones, and I love it so much. I love this series so much. I will never outgrow this series. This is another one that we went, and my mom and I saw The Lightning Thief in theaters. I had never even heard of these books. And we went to see that in theaters, and we both loved it, and we were like reading this series at the same time. I skipped the first book because I was like, I'm seeing the movie, and so I went right to this book. So I actually read the second one first, and then as soon as I was done with the series, I went back and I read Percy Jackson. This is another one. I'm 16. I love these books. My mom is in her 40s. She loves these books. So these books are fantastic. And Phase 10, Share the Love. Who would you like to tag? I don't really know anyone. So if you are watching this video and you want to do this, you can just say that you were tagged by me, and that way you don't have to like awkwardly be like, I wasn't tagged. So there you go. Happy birthday. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. This video is going to be 18 minutes long. I'm so sorry. I love you guys. Bye.